From the gondolas of Venice to the cliffside sunsets of the Amalfi Coast, this is your 7-day Italian escape. Welcome to Italy. This is a country where every cobblestone has a story, every meal is a love letter to tradition, and the past lives beside the present. In this journey across Italy, we begin in the floating romance of Venice, wind through the Renaissance beauty of Florence, glide through the hills of Tuscany, stand among ancient wonders in Rome, and breathe in the lemon-scented air of the Amalfi Coast.
7 days, 5 unforgettable regions, and one very Italian dream. Before we begin, please take time to like this video and subscribe to Traveler's Treasure Globe. Our channel needs your help. That said, let's begin.
Your adventure starts in Venice, a city like no other. Wake with the bells of St. Mark's Basilica and wander through Piazza San Marco before the crowds arrive. Step into the basilica itself, where golden mosaics flicker like candlelight. Next, take a ride on a vaporetto, the local water bus, and drift past palaces that rise straight from the sea. Then make your way to the island of Murano to watch glassblowers craft shimmering art, and continue on to Burano, the rainbow-colored fishing village known for lace and legends.
When in Venice, you have to try sarda in saor, which is a Venetian specialty of marinated sardines with pine nuts and onions. After that, you might want to enjoy a creamy seafood risotto, and honestly, nothing beats a cold glass of Prosecco by the water. Here's a fun fact. Venice is actually made up of more than 100 small islands, all connected by over 400 bridges. If you're looking to save a bit, skip those pricey gondola rides and hop on a traghetto instead. Locals use it just like a taxi to cross the Grand Canal, and it costs only a fraction of the price. For your budget, entry to St. Mark's Basilica is free, but if you want rooftop access, it's around £5. A day pass for the Vaporetto, which is the local water bus, is roughly £21. And a seafood lunch on the canal can be anywhere between £12 and £20.
Travel to Florence by train and step into a city where art truly breathes. Begin your day at the Duomo, its dome rising proudly above the city's skyline. If you're feeling adventurous, climb to the top for views that stretch for miles. Then make your way to the Uffizi Gallery, which is home to Botticelli's Birth of Venus and so many other Renaissance treasures. Of course, no trip to Florence is complete without seeing Michelangelo's David, sculpted with such incredible detail it almost seems to breathe. Cross the Ponte Vecchio, Florence's oldest bridge lined with gold shops, and take some time to explore the quieter artisan quarter just across the river.
When you're in Florence, definitely order bistecca alla fiorentina. That's a Tuscan T-bone steak, grilled rare and seasoned simply with olive oil and salt. And, you just have to finish with a scoop of gelato from a local favorite like Gelateria dei Neri. Here's a fun fact. Florence actually paved its streets before any other city in Europe, starting way back in the year 1339. For a smoother experience, I'd recommend reserving your museum tickets in advance, especially at the Uffizi and Accademia, so you can skip those long queues. Budget-wise, the train from Venice to Florence is about £25, entry to the Duomo's dome is around £15, and dinner for two with wine can range from £35 to £50.
Leave the city behind and wander into Tuscany, where rolling hills and vineyards really do stretch out like a painting. Visit the town of Greve in Chianti for your first wine tasting, and then follow those cypress-lined roads to San Gimignano, which is famous for its medieval towers and saffron-flavored gelato. Make a stop in Montepulciano or Montalcino for a sip of world-class red wine. And at sunset, check into a countryside agriturismo. There's nothing quite like enjoying fresh pasta and wine under the stars.
When you're in Tuscany, you absolutely have to try pici all'aglione. These are thick Tuscan noodles served with a garlicky tomato sauce, and honestly, they're best enjoyed with a glass of Chianti Classico. Oh, and did you know? The black rooster you see on Chianti wine bottles actually comes from a medieval legend about rival city-states racing to mark their territory. If you don't drive, it's a good idea to join a small group tour that includes tastings and lunch out in the countryside. Just to give you an idea of the budget in pounds. Wine tastings usually cost between 10 and 20, A farmhouse stay with dinner is generally 60 to 100 per night, and pasta dishes are usually around 7 to 10 pounds.
Welcome to Rome, where emperors once ruled and centuries really do collide. Let's start with the Colosseum. You can almost feel the echo of ancient battles as you step into this architectural marvel. Not far away, explore the Roman Forum, which was once the very center of public life in the empire. Later on in the afternoon, don't forget to toss a coin into the Trevi fountain to make sure you'll return to the city, and then climb the Spanish Steps before sunset.
What to eat in Rome? Definitely try cacio e pepe, which is a classic Roman pasta dish made with just cheese, black pepper, and pasta water. And for dessert, you really can't go wrong with a slice of tiramisu in Trastevere. Here's a fun fact for you. The Pantheon's dome has stood strong for almost 2,000 years without any reinforcement, which is honestly pretty amazing. Now, a quick travel tip. Consider getting the Roma Pass to save on transport and entry to museums and landmarks. As for your budget in pounds, entry to the Colosseum and Forum is about £15. A 2-day Roma Pass costs around £28, and dinner, including wine, can range from £15 to £20.
Step into the world's smallest country, Vatican City. Start your day early at the Vatican museums and end your tour in the Sistine Chapel, where Michelangelo's masterpiece fills the ceiling with divine drama. Next, climb to the top of St. Peter's Basilica for breathtaking views over all of Rome. And then escape the crowds by wandering along a stretch of the Appian Way, where time seems to stand still among ancient ruins.
So, when you're in the Vatican, definitely try Roman-style pizza. It's thin and crispy, often topped with things like zucchini blossoms or anchovies. And you know, it's a good idea to refresh yourself with an Aperol spritz as well. Here's a fun fact. The Vatican actually holds the largest private art collection in the world, spread across more than 1,000 rooms. If you're planning a visit, buy your museum tickets online and aim to arrive before 9 in the morning to beat the crowds. Just to give you an idea of costs, entry to the Vatican museums is usually between £15 and £20. Climbing the dome at St. Peter's is about £6, and lunch will typically set you back £8 to £10.
Now head south to Naples, the birthplace of pizza and, kind of amazingly, the guardian of Roman secrets. Wander through Spaccanapoli, which is really the heart of the old city, and make sure to sample the original pizza margherita. Then, just hop on a train to Pompeii. You'll get to walk streets that were buried under volcanic ash for centuries, and explore villas, temples, and bakeries that have been frozen in time.
For a real taste of Naples, try authentic Neapolitan pizza topped with buffalo mozzarella and fresh basil. And, don't forget to finish with a tangy shot of limoncello. Here's a fun fact. Pompeii was buried in 79 AD and wasn't rediscovered until 1748. If you're planning to visit, wear sturdy shoes and bring water. Pompeii is vast and pretty exposed. And just a quick note on the budget. The train to Naples is around £25. Entry to Pompeii costs about £13, and pizza with a drink is usually between £6 and £8.
End your Italian journey on the Amalfi Coast, where every view is a postcard. Base yourself in Positano or Amalfi and take the day slow. Wander flower-filled alleys, lounge on the beach, or take a boat ride along the cliffs. Toast your week with fresh seafood and a view of the sun melting into the sea.
What to eat? Spaghetti alle vongole pasta with clams and garlic, followed by lemon sorbet or a glass of homemade limoncello. Fun fact, the Amalfi Coast is a protected UNESCO World Heritage Site, famous for its dramatic beauty and ancient coastal roads. Travel tip: use ferries between coastal towns for better views and to avoid winding cliffside roads. Budget in GBP. Ferry from Naples to Amalfi is £20 to £35. A seafood lunch with a view costs £15 to £25. A bottle of limoncello is around £6.
7 days across Italy have given you stories to last a lifetime. From the quiet backwaters of Venice to the eternal pulse of Rome and the dazzling heights of the Amalfi Cliffs, You've tasted tradition, walked with history, and touched the soul of La Dolce Vita. Which place captured your heart? Share it in the comments.
Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another episode of One Week, One Country. Until next time, keep exploring, one beautiful country at a time.